Another big series here in the round of 16, and kind of my theory heading into the round of 16 so far has been proven correct. I felt like with how the first couple rounds went, there were quite a few rounds that were very stompy. Usually, for whatever reason, in Age of Empires 2 tournaments, if that happens, then the later rounds are super, super close. And so every round has been really close so far. This one probably has the great odds to do the same. We've got Sebastian, the young gun from Uruguay, playing as the Malians here in the blue on Houseboat. And then we've got FreakinAndy playing as the Italians from... playing as the Italians, and he's from Austria. Completely ruins my intro here. But the fun thing here is I think these two kind of came into the scene at this level. Like, they creeped into that top 16 kind of at the same time. And I would even categorize my co-caster today, Ganji, in the same thing. Just really, like, rose up 2-3 years ago and got out in front of people. So, yeah, good to have you here, Ganji, to cast these two.
Thank you. Sadly, they got a little bit ahead of me, but, you know, we'll try to pick up the pace eventually.
Yeah, I mean, you ran into the freight train that was ACCM.
Yeah, he's a tough guy.
So, and all good. So, Houseboat, crazy. The neutral map, right? Like, you get Houseboat after all the bans finish.
It's an annoying map to start with. It's so much clicking. Like, it's quite annoying.
Yeah, and Italians, Malians, both pretty flexible here. So what I've seen play out, Ganji, is we tend to see a lot of water play, and then it's just a decision on, do you want to go forward docks or do you want to stay at home? What do you think is best? What are your thoughts on the whole situation there?
Well, I always like getting initiative, but if he has a perfect defense, it's really hard to actually do anything there. So I'm not quite sure. I think Italian Malians also have pretty similar starts, right? You save wood with both civs.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, Andy feels like a guy that will go Grush. Like, he likes those four lakes kind of maps, and he really likes Grushing and like microing fires, repairing them, and demos and stuff. So I would assume that he goes forward.
Okay. And well, if Sebastian expects that, Sebastian's going to have to keep a close eye. But already Andy showed up. Even attacked the house to give Sebastian an attack notification, which I'd love to do just because I love to be annoying. But that also is...
It keeps them on their toes a little bit. So
exactly. It's like, I'm ready to attack. You better be prepared. Oh, man. That's fun stuff.
Also, the good thing with being defensive, like, if he goes forward on you and you drop 2 docks to defend, you can actually sneak a will onto the other guy. And many times, if you're the guy attacking, you don't expect to be attacked in these types of maps. So you can really shock your opponent a little bit there.
Well, Yo did that very same thing to Sato in their round of 16 series yesterday. So, yeah, Sato went forward, super fast up times, forward dock. And then Yo, as he was defending, just walked over and built a dock himself. And then it was like 2 docks from each on each pond, and things got really messy from there. So if you lose your transport... like, and you don't have any food underneath your TC, which will happen, it could be devastating. You can have 5-10 villagers idle. So you really, that's been interesting to see. It's not just fishing ship snipes. We have seen some players just YOLO in their fire galleys to snipe the transport ship just because they know what the idle time means.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to build a new transport, which means you can't make galleys. Like, it's quite an awkward thing there. You don't only fight for the fish, for the water control, like, necessarily, but take the water, he can't transport vills, which is really bad. So it's an interesting map. I like it a lot, actually.
I think this might be a new record for Buffalo's underneath the TC before Feudal Age here for Andy. He was able to scout a lot towards the south, and Sebastian had found some and unfortunately sent it right into Andy's scout. So if you do lose the transport, or even if you just don't want to use the transport as much, this is super valuable to have 1,000 food underneath the TC. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I also like that Andy is starting to wall off on the bottom side. Like, he has to make the houses anyway. Might as well make a wall with them.
Yeah.
And this map is fairly easy to wall, so you might as well start early.
Yeah, and I think, like, in the early rounds, we'd see some players try and go archers and feudal age aggression on land. But these days, players tend to wall that out. So it's not normally the strongest. Here comes the Vil for Andy. Sebastian is really close to this. Don't tell me Andy play... No way, dude. That's crazy that Andy's dock can't be spotted right now. Are you kidding me? Okay. Does get spotted. but the wall's there. Now, I saw a game where someone actually was able to transport their vill and drop them off in between the palisades. I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, I tried it in my stat, it didn't work, so I think it's not super consistent, but can get it to work. Oh, he did it! Oh my god.
Are you a little tilted right now that it worked for him and not you?
Yeah, T90 Stradamus, what can I say? Like, it didn't look like he could do... Oh, well, of course, it's Andy, so he saves the Vil. Classic. Oh, never mind.
But now he's going to lose the Vil. And Sebastian's not going to let this villager get away a second time, I don't think.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to apologize to Andy. The caster curse is real when I cast with you, so I shouldn't have said anything. But you see, for Sebastian now, like he was up earlier, he got a second dock now. And this dock will really not do much. He will just be a little bit annoying.
Well,
which is also fine for Andy. It's not the biggest deal, but...
Like, Andy is really good in these scenarios, though.
Yeah.
So it does come down... Like, we're expecting perfect defense, but it does come down to how Andy's first demo hits. What I would like to see is for him to get 3 fires, 1 demo. Now, you have to get the timing right, because if your dock gets weakened, you can't pop out anymore. It just kind of goes down, so... but I think that's what you aim to do here for Andy. Or, I've seen some people just make 1 ship and don't make anything else. So they overinvest into defense, and then you just have 1 ship there.
Yeah. Hey, it's definitely a reasonable approach. Like, that's the nice thing with this map. I think there's quite a few approaches you can do with this dock. Like, this is kind of fake aggression at the moment, right? He did 1 fire, now he will probably fish boom at home. Maybe just wall up, and then we'll see what he will do then.
Yeah, I think Andy maybe is going to be a little bit paranoid about the potential of Sebastian coming over to his water, so he'll keep an eye out on that. It's really valuable that Andy has the higher HP scout, so yes, he lost the Vil, but now he can keep a close eye on things without having to worry about losing the scout.
Yeah. I'm curious why he didn't keep chasing that scout, but I guess he want to scout the edges of the map to see where he should wall.
Wow, so Sebastian's expecting this to be 3 fires in a demo, something crazy.
Yeah.
And it's just 1 fire.
Yeah. Andy will have an extremely fast castle age time here. Like, he's really heavy on food under the TC as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you want to go, like... I don't know what actually. Maybe Monk Siege push on, like, the lake for Sebastian. Like, some kind of timing push.
Well, what about, like... I guess the next thing that comes to mind for me is... What type of player is he with his fishing ships? Because some players, they're going up to like 30 fishing ships here and fish traps before they add TCs or while they add TCs. So I think Andy, with his Black Forest experience, would actually love to fish boom.
Absolutely, yeah. He loves those fish traps.
Yeah. And dock goes down for Andy. There's going to be a range for Sebastian. Sebastian is mainly going to run into walls. And very nice walls from Andy pretty much everywhere here. So he's up way faster, and he's even adding a galley right now on his own pond to try and stop Doc from Sebastian.
Fire galley is interesting. Shouldn't he do a galley then instead?
Oh. He queued a galley initially. I saw it on screen.
Oh, okay.
And then he canceled it. Yeah. Do you think there's a reason for that, or do you think that's a misclick, or what?
I guess fires could technically like insta-kill the dock if they're really there when the Vil comes, but other than that, I would say a galley is better, no?
Well, yes, but I did see a game. I saw 2 games, actually, where someone added a galley. So it was really funny. So Matador was versus Samaro in, like, the 2nd round, right?
Yeah.
And Matador added a galley. And then Samaro just brought 4 Vils. And he dropped the docks down anyways. He didn't even lose a Vil.
Yeah.
So then Matador won that series. And then his opponent added 3 galleys, and then like Matador brought 8 Vils. And YOLO down 2 docks. So Matador was like, he learned, I guess, because his opponent did it to him, that the galley might not do enough if you commit enough. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's definitely reasonable and pretty funny that he learned from it at least.
Yeah, I love to see that, like, over time, the players, like, learning and adapting to something.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, this
encapsulates their playstyles quite good as well. Like, Andy, more of a defensive macro player, and Sebastian, like, playing without walls. He defended his water, now going forward with archers.
Yep. And that's why I think the series is going to be so good, dude. Like, also the draft as well, which we didn't have a ton of time to discuss. The draft is perfect for both of them. There's the neutral map
the
here.
maps are quite telling for both players for sure. What they like to play.
TC's in the back for Sebastian. Sorry, for Andy. That one TC's directly between gold and stone, which is really nice. He's got a nice back corner to work with. Lots of gold, lots of hunt, lots of stone. And then Sebastian sees the walls. He did lose his scout. He hasn't tried a forward dock. Almost feels like, well, never mind. He's doing it right in front of my face. Yeah, forward siege from Sebastian.
Yeah. And he's sneaking a vill on the bottom. I guess she's for outposts, or? Or is that actually to sneak to the lake? I mean, at this point, he should realize that Sebastian is mostly walled, and he also has 5 fires on his lake, right? So it's kind of hard to sneak up.
Well, he might feel like he's not doing a whole lot else this second, so maybe he feels like it's a good move. And just typical Andy, playing very little army, playing for the eco, and he just runs forward, drops a couple stone walls there. Now, it's not completely safe, but he now knows crossbows will be here, and so he has time to drop his siege.
Yep.
I just, like, I don't know about you, but I'm the type of player where I would always try and play with a bit of initiative, like Sebastian. Because if I try and play like Andy's playing right now, I just get completely overwhelmed. And my eco lead doesn't amount to anything. But...
yeah, it's a very good point. Like, I might have played this similar to Andy, but I don't really like it. The issue versus Sebastian is that he's so freaking good at taking initiative himself, that if Andy want to mirror him, I'm not sure if that's also a good plan, right?
Yep.
Same way when you face Leary, do you really want to mirror him in a way to get the initiative? It's quite hard.
Yeah,
you kind of play them at the wrong game, but I agree with you though. Like, initiative is so important on these kind of maps. And in general. I
do think Res Collected is going to start to tick up a little bit more for Andy here, because he's already transitioned onto 8 fish traps, and the fishing ships for Sebastian are still on shorefish. So they're going to be kind of inefficient. He's also slightly later to the TCs, but Malians are super flexible. The eco upgrades look good for Sebastian. It's not like there's going to be any potential counterattack for Andy, so honestly, this feels like it's going to go Imp. And if it goes Imp, is there a Civ here that you prefer more than others?
I would prefer Italian. Like, I think their one-push death ball is kind of unstoppable. Okay. Olin has the advantage of having great Cavalier, maybe for raiding and stuff, but I would prefer Italian in the late game.
Okay.
What's the same?
Town watch in for Andy. Interesting that Sebastian's kind of waited until he's gotten the 3 mangonels to show them. But I think in that moment there, Andy actually, because a crossbow was attacking the house, he saw 1 mangonel. But I don't think he's expecting 3.
It also makes sense, right? Like, if Sebastian don't have siege, the crossbows actually have no value.
Yeah.
So I think he could have easily guessed. But I like this still. Like, 3 mangonels is so much more scary than 1, and you can get like a snowball timing here.
Yeah, now if Sebastian has to fight uphill, could be a problem, but he's being patient right now. He's going to wedge his crossbows into the back of that wood line, and then he gets completely rocked by the shot there from Andy. That's so good from both players so far for Sebastian to realize, but then Andy to pop out when he did.
You also see that the mangonel shoot in different pattern, right? So you can't pop the mangonel out on the front to kill a mangonel and then like go to the side. You'll actually get killed. So...
and that's intentional. That's not something you do by mistake, because they would all attack at the same time if you just right-click them.
Yep.
And this...
oh, and there it pops.
Oh, that is a really sick pop there from FreakinAndy. And it's a 1-for-1 in the end. Dang. This is pretty intense stuff. I mean, it feels like we're going to go Imp regardless, but this matters so much to the time that players are going to have to be able to set their ecos up. And, I mean, Andy cannot lose more ground here. And if he were to lose that area where his Siege Workshop is, he'd have some big problems.
Yeah. I think also in these cases, I think bigger Castlage for Andy makes sense to get the map back. I'm not sure going Imp is necessarily the right choice. Like, you have no map back here. You have some rest still. You have quite a good Will count as well with Andy. He's quite good in the macro department.
And 21 fishing
ships. Seems like he's
ships.
going to add knights, actually.
Yeah, getting armor. But Sebastian's micro is still so good. Well, from what Andy sees, 6 knights clear up the entire push.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, the bigger question for me is, does Sebastian see it? Because I love the outposting. The outposting in the north. He's basically building this up so he will never be surprised. But Andy is building those knights. Where is he building the knights? Oh my god, with the sneak in the south.
Yeah. I guess it was his plan all along, right? I don't know.
That's epic, man. To just have that one villager building it.
Yeah.
It will be spotted now because Sebastian's been very thorough with the outpost, but it makes it interesting because I don't think Sebastian was expecting it from there. He was expecting it from everywhere else. And his mangonels, well, they'll probably back away. Be fine for now, but there will be more knights coming.
A great macro by Andy. He's 20 vills ahead while being under pressure like this. It's
Crazy.
quite nice.
Yeah, and he's got 16 fish traps. He's got some farms. He will drop a castle right amongst a bunch of outposts and houses from Sebastian, but Sebastian has no army there.
Quite risky, but I mean, he does know that the army is not there currently, so I suppose it's good.
It's one of those things where, again, I would not feel comfortable doing this. I probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But if you were to ask Andy about it, Andy would be like, well, I know his army is chasing my knights.
Yeah.
So it's obvious, you know?
Yeah, and even if you make it by the enemy's houses, it's not necessarily true that they see it, right? Like, it might be in their vision on the map, but they don't necessarily see it. Because he was microing the crossbow at the same time.
Yeah. Monk is out for Sebastian to try and convert a knight, and he was... That monk was charged up. Yeah. So conversion happens. Andy could kill the monk, maybe. Lot to look at, though.
To your point earlier, though, like, about the fish traps, there's 14 fishing ships from Sebastian, and he just now makes gill nets, and Andy has double.
Yep.
So he definitely likes his fish trap. Even though they are a little bit messy, but that's okay. It's a messy game.
And there goes Andy on the way to Imp. So you're talking about this death comp for the Italians. Probably...
Yeah, I think, like, Genoese Hussars, like, insanely strong.
Yeah.
There's the Malian champions, but I think just adding a few hand cannons behind Genoese is way more than enough in that case.
Okay. Well, you need the castles for Genoese. Yep. And Andy's pretty light on stone right now. He's just fixing that, and we'll transfer some more onto stone. But he's just got the one castle for production. Sebastian is up. Sebastian's got a relic. Sebastian has just buildings absolutely everywhere. Like, the south is just covered. So I would say advantage for him in terms of the resources there. And then he's also outposting and getting relics in the north right now, too. So.
But what would you say that Sebastian should actually open at this point? Like, in terms of army, it's a bit tricky, right?
It is very tricky. I'm a light cav guy, right? I would just say, even against Genoese, I would be like, try and like get some light cav for overall map control. But it's hard to do that, to justify that when Andy's walled fully.
Yeah.
It wouldn't actually be the craziest thing right now to go forward with 5 vills and drop docks. And
yes, I was just thinking the same. Like, imagine you do that. That's actually quite annoying.
Yeah.
Like, even if Andy actually makes army, you can still demo all the fish.
Yep.
And that's so much value.
And Andy would just get slowed down with any land pressure because he would have to make Navy immediately to deal with that. So, yeah, I would say, like, 2 to 3 docks real quick. Get the War Galley upgrade and prepare for some demos and some fires just to make things messy there.
Yeah. So, Andy's making Arbalest. Like, I guess he doesn't think he has the time to go Genoese, which could be correct. But Cavalier is quite good into this comp because the Italian don't actually have halves, right? And a few Genoese doesn't help that much. You kind of need some numbers. But we shall see.
We did see War Galley get research there for Sebastian. He's done a great job with his map control. He's like, fine, you want to turtle up in the corner? I'll give you that corner, and eventually I will outlast you because of the additional gold around the map.
Yeah.
And typical Andy still, even though he's faster to Imp, just opting for eco upgrades. He's still not ready to really go for that big push yet.
And I think it's a reasonable approach when you think you have the better Civ, just to play it a bit slow.
Yep.
I think if the Civs were reversed, he would have probably tried to push its advantage a bit more.
Okay.
Like, 30 vills ahead, that's quite insane, but Sebastian's rests are looking good, so...
Here comes Sebastian with, I don't know how many vills, but I see the dock. So he's going to do that. This should force Andy to get War Galley.
Did you watch the Matador set?
And make a couple more ships, yeah. It's kind of cool to see crossbows and Genoese mixed. That little line.
Yeah.
It looks pretty dope.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that.
Genoese are a cool unit. I like them.
Yeah, the only thing that's disappointing is their shield is always on their backs.
Yeah,
well, no, when they stand, their shields are on the front. So I guess I'm wrong. Never mind.
I only see pixels when I...
Oh my god,
like
Andy doesn't see the docks.
Yeah, fast fire. Oh, that's gonna brutalize his food eco here.
This is, I mean, oh man. And I know Andy, and it's normal for any player to get a little frustrated with themselves when they think they've got such a good position. This could affect the mindset. If you lose the game because of this could kind of tilt you a little bit. Okay, he did see the one dock with the Genoese and crossbows. That's actually huge.
Yeah, but it's so late at this point. Like, he should lose so many fish here.
Yeah. And maybe
At
distract
least
from the
luckily
other
he's
fight.
going into wood units technically, so it's not the worst thing for now, but...
Nice job there from Sebastian, taking this control. He's got more fast fires on the way. And he's got a great pop, but 41 of that is fishing ships on fish traps, and his food eco is mainly that. So this is going to hurt big time, and now Andy is struggling to take control of the rest of the map because Sebastian's pushing with Trebs as well.
Yep.
Wow, and you're so far removed from fast fire because you had to get War Galley, and then you have to wait for that, and then you have to get fast fire as well. This is amazing opening from Sebastian. Well played.
Definitely. And it's not like fast fires kill each other really fast, so if Sebastian just focuses the fishing ships, he can still kill all of them.
Yeah.
And just take this control.
Yeah.
Yeah, great play by Sebastian. Going for the bottom castle now with 2 traps.
I think this what this will hurt will be any food unit transition for Andy.
Yeah.
So if he wanted to go Hussar with Genoese, that's going to be tougher now.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, it's still, like, there's still fast fires coming out. He still hasn't dealt with this, and Sebastian has focused down half the fish. Beautiful. And momentum's with Sebastian. Trebs are now on the castle. Andy does have a bombard cannon that could technically snipe those Trebs, but he has to react to it now. Sebastian sees it. He could try and snipe the bombard cannon over the wall, but he's distracted now. And just a lot happening right now.
Arps as well. Yeah, a lot of things happening.
Nice job from Andy, though. Andy needs to stabilize right now. He's starting to do so on water a little bit. He's still keeping his castle up, and he's also taking out the trebuchet from Sebastian. So it's not all amazing for Sebastian either right now.
Yeah, but Sebastian is preparing the Cavalier switch, which is gonna be quite brutal if you don't have elite Genoese numbers.
Yeah, true.
As we said, you don't have halves to switch to either, so Genoese is really your only choice there.
I love this. Like, Andy thought he had a simplified opening with the water being locked down, and he just simply assumed that his opponent wouldn't come back onto it.
Yeah, it was just an oversight. Like, it's
easy to do.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, very easy to do. Still no fast fire there for Andy. Plus, he can't really get close to the docks because of Sebastian's castle. And Sebastian's fires have done more than enough. We'll see now as Andy's kind of falling apart with control. He is getting some kills with the Arbs, but we'll see how he's able to deal with Cavalier. I think if Sebastian has Farimba with the first attack, I think he might even win the game.
Yeah, could be. And it does have a lot of stones, so he can still place 2 castles and buy quite some time that way.
Yeah.
But he still needs to get to elite Genoese somehow at some point here.
Yeah. Man, Sebastian is just constant. He sniped some bombard cannons down the south, continues to send in pressure towards that castle. And there's the Farimba upgrade. Man, he's going to have full upgrades. And there's no Genoese crossbowman for Andy. He might not have the time.
No, I don't think he does. But he still needs to place those 2 castles he can and then try to hold that way.
Yeah. If Sebastian has the siege ready to push the castle in the north, I think he can win the game here. If he didn't have the siege and it was just raids, then maybe the Genoese could come out. But just 2 castles for FreakinAndy. He's under a lot of pressure here, so he is actually overbooming because he's getting attacked so much, which is fully understandable. And yeah, now the Trebs are there and he needs an answer.
I'm impressed Sebastian is just making fires from his front docks. Like, many people would accidentally make fires in the docks at home. So I guess that's control group for them.
Yeah, but
many people
still,
use up docks, right?
Yeah, no, I'm with you there though. I think that it's very easy to make that mistake when he's doing everything else. And the thing is too, he's not just patrolling his fires. He continually checks the fish.
Yeah.
He also has heavy demo research, so he's going to use demos from the front docks. And yeah, in the north, he's got Farimba Cavalier plus 7 attack, and he's got the Treps on the castle from Andy.
Yeah.
Oh man, Andy just cannot keep up with it. And such good patience from Sebastian to get to this position. Because it looked inevitable that Andy was going to get to that death composition in Imp.
Yep. Yeah, it looks really good for Andy. He had a great eco lead. The map control wasn't the greatest, but if he stops those docks from coming up, or at least contest it earlier, I think he should be in a great spot. Now it's looking a bit rough.
Yeah. How do you as a fish boomer, stop yourself from overbooming in this situation. When you look at your eco stats at the top, and it doesn't include the fishing ships, is there an easy way to do that? Is it just experience or what?
No, I think it's most experience, but as long as you're not 200 pop, I guess you just keep adding until you're there.
Yeah,
much,
yeah, yeah.
honestly.
Oh, big demos, big demos, big demos. The demos are actually perfect. Oh, man. And now Andy's going to have to make even more ships just to clean up this pond that he's got no fish on anymore. Brutal.
Yeah, like he's technically overproducing, but he kind of has to. Like, he can't lose that pond, but if you invest there, then Sebastian will win elsewhere, which is what's happening.
Sebastian, 3k gold banked, all 5 relics in the bank.
Yeah.
He's got relics. He's got the castles. If you look at this new castle and all the other castles, they're just perfectly spread out around the map. And Andy just does not have that map. Gave up so much map control to get to that eco. And Sebastian's vision from early Castle Age onwards has just told him everything he needs to know.
Yeah.
I think the key for a FreakinAndy comeback is the Genoese. If he can get to 30 elite Genoese with a couple bombard cannons, he can kill everything that Sebastian has right now. He doesn't have elite yet, but they still do decent enough bonus damage. He could maybe hold. Like, it might seem bad because he lost a lot of momentum, but I'm seeing good eco pop, and I'm starting to see him take down Trebs. He's actually keeping his castle up. He just completed architecture, and he's not dead yet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a bit surprised Sebastian has not gone for any cannons. I feel like that's a unit like he usually goes for. He just goes for traps this time, which maybe cannons would have helped a bit to maneuver around and snipe other cannons and stuff.
Yeah. Skirms for Malian's not the best, of course. Especially...
I think Sebastian just engage here and kill the cannons? I think he can.
Yeah. I think he's going to. He
but
did
you're
also...
afraid of the Genoese. Like, you don't face them every day, and they are quite strong. Maybe he's afraid.
Yeah, I think as long as he's a couple Trebs firing on FreakinAndy's castle, he's also just probably thinking that Andy will invest stone into repairing, so he won't build future castles. Yeah, he does dive here. I mean, he loses a lot of expensive Cavalier, but when you have 3k gold, that's fine.
Yeah, and Malian gold lasting longer. There's quite some gold on this map, but you should be happy with that.
Yeah, and Andy's still repairing.
While the skirms aren't the greatest without Racer, they're still skirms, so they counter the Genoese pretty well.
Yeah, and there's some arguments to be made that it's better to have the armor than it is Bracer.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Not bad. Gold is actually becoming an issue for Andy now. Only 5 on gold. Not that he doesn't have some gold around, but it's hard to get the villagers onto that gold underneath the TC. Yep. And, I mean, honestly, credit to Andy. He lost 100 eco this game, and he's still at 150 right now, hanging in. Don't ask me how. Cavalier going to dive, though, Ganji. And these 2 Trebs from Andy have been firing on Sebastian's castle, forcing him to repair. And now those Trebs are going to go down. And oof, that's such a big loss for FreakinAndy.
Yeah, Sebastian's Trebs currently have 35,000 damage done, so... Andy's been repairing for quite a while.
35,000?
Yeah.
Oh my god. And he had 2 more Trebs there for a long time as well.
Crazy.
And Andy's completely out of stone. What did he have, like 2,500 stone at one point?
Yeah, he had a lot.
And now it's all gone. The gold is still an issue. Sebastian's remained so consistent. The Trebs are still firing. The castle's gonna fall. The Trebs and the bombard cannons are found by the Cavalier. And yeah, maybe now Sebastian's finally done it. Completely overwhelmed Andy in early Imperial Age, and Andy's never really been able to recover.
Yeah. Was a great effort, but those docks actually just killed him, straight up.
Yeah. I mean, ideal world for an Age of Empires 2 player is minimal investment for massive reward, right?
Yeah.
And essentially what those 4 docks did, they killed the majority of the fishing eco from Andy, but then Andy had to spend more, it felt like more resources just to trying to stabilize the position, and then everything he invested there didn't give him map control over the rest of the map.
Yep.
So yeah, the docks...
That was like a crucial point in time as well, where he had to add so many farms as well, which like takes away from the APM, right? And there's so many things there that went wrong for Andy. But I think Andy shouldn't be too unhappy with this. I think he realized he was in a decent spot. He just had a massive oversight, which happens. And if that didn't happen, I think the game would have gone way better in his favor. Yeah.
Well, when I looked at the draft, I felt like the two maps for Sebastian were just perfect for him. the 2 maps for Andy that he picked were perfect for him. And then there was this, which I felt was in the middle. So this was genuinely
Could have been
most
the decider
neutral.
map.
Yeah. Like we might, this could be a 3-2 series, and then Andy might, or someone, later on might say that this decided it. But I think we're getting a little bit too ahead of ourselves. I think it's important not to like oversimplify it and just be like, already assuming that Sebastian's going to win on his maps, and same with Andy. Beautiful game from Sebastian, though. How he was able to expand around this map was absolutely ridiculous. You look at his vision even now, there's really just not a tile on this map of importance that he doesn't see. There's not an area he doesn't have production buildings and castles. So that is why Sebastian has crept into the top 5 over the past year. Crazy tournament results, super consistent. His macro's on point, and his aggression's on point. And well played from him. So game 2, I was very curious to see where they would start off. And the way this map works, it's been banned so many times, so I feel like I need to explain it again because people haven't seen it. You've got 3 separate sections of this pizza. You've got the food section, which they're both going to town center now. You have the gold section, which has the majority of the gold, where there's going to be 2 vills. And then you have 2 vills in the stone section. And they both have Georgians, so it's a Georgians mirror matchup. Georgians get the free mule cart from their TC once it's completed. And they also have built some mule carts around the map too here, Ganji. So what do you think is best? Like, what do the players have to think about, I guess, as you play this one?
I have no idea, man. You tell me. No, but I guess, making the TC in the food area is the most common thing to do.
Yeah.
I think making it on the right side, like the gold and some stone area, is also good. Like 4 elephants, quite a lot. And you still have food from the left side, but I mean, you kind of need to coordinate where you cut, right? Like you want to cut yourself in so you have space.
Yes.
So I like Sebastian's TC a bit more, right? Like he's cutting towards the gold area, whereas Andy on the left side, he will have to cut quite a while to get out there on the outer ring.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think so I've seen a lot of TCing the food area, which to me just makes sense because you don't want 2 vills here. You can't take advantage of the food then, really, with just 2 vills.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's hard to kill boars even. Like you have to wall them in and do stuff like that.
Yeah, so I like this. I do agree that Sebastian's TC spot makes a little bit more sense because he can, in theory, cut into the gold area later on. But he does have his lumberjacks actually from the gold area chopping through to the other section, interestingly enough. And this seems like he's intentionally chopping those trees. So I guess Sebastian could eventually cut his way from the TC into the gold. And then these other 2 villagers are also opening up the other sections here too. So
yeah, I mean, it's only 4 trees on the right? So he might not need the both cutting towards each other.
Yeah.
The TC might be enough there. I do like Jordan from both sides. The mule cart is very useful here. You can take hunt and then you can go onto wood and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, part of this, which has to be explained, is the villager spawn location is also part of what plays a role in TCs. Like, if they both came in here and said, I want to TC the food area, it's very likely that the vills for FreakinAndy were just more positioned to the left.
Yeah.
And so he couldn't justify walking to build the TC where Sebastian did. Now, he found Sebastian's TC with his mule cart or something. I'm not actually sure how he saw that. But according to Capture,
the mule cart.
He did. And then we have a barracks from Sebastian. So not the first time we've seen this either, right? Where they know there's going to be essentially 4 villagers unprotected by the TC. And he's going to make militia, probably, to try and hunt down the other 2 villagers from Andy.
Oh, but you know what's even better? Like, Sebastian will actually cut in by the time the militias are out. So when he hits those vills, let's say he kills them or Andy walls them in or whatever, he can actually go to the top part with the militia as well.
Yeah.
And Andy will never expect that, right?
So I know they haven't done it here.
He would assume you have double barracks then, so.
So I know they haven't done it here, but something I think is really strong is TCing the gold area. Because...
You mean like in Castle H with the 2 vills, or?
I mean, you're starting TCs in the gold area.
Okay, yeah.
Because what a lot of players do is they go fast feudal for like scouts and whatnot, because they assume you're going to be in the food area. And they go for all that map control. And then they struggle to do anything if they don't have gold. I think like just trying to fast castle And dropping TCs in the gold area and just going 3 TCs there could be a play. You have enough elephants out there. There's enough sheep to maybe gather up. I don't know, though. It's tough.
I've got anecdotal evidence to the contrary. I don't need gold on this map to win.
Dude, that game between you and Lix on this map was ridiculous, dude. Your level was so high.
Yeah. Even when I got gold access, I wasn't sure to use it. Because I was selling with the market the whole game, so... I don't know.
Andy does have Loom, and I can't believe it, but Sebastian has found him.
Yeah.
And...
But Andy walled into the second. Wow.
All right, so this is Andy's approach. He's gone mule cart on either side, and he's going to open this up. And so he could save these 2 vills. The other 2 vills are taking gold. So it kind of felt like on paper, Sebastian's militia play and opening up the other sections would be really strong. But not so sure now.
Well, Andy will go FC. Sebastian will kill those 2 vills with an archer, right?
Maybe. It does feel like the archer will be there before the tree is fully chopped, unfortunately, for Andy.
Yeah, I think so. It might be relatively close.
Yeah, this is going to be super close because there are 4 villagers are about to move on to that one tree, which is just 100 wood.
Now it's kind of like all about the bumping. Like, how much will the vills bump, and will he...
Yeah, like right there, that one vill decided to walk around the mule cart like an idiot.
Yeah.
I love how we both expect that the vills will cooperate.
Yeah, but Andy's paying full attention to this, so at least that's good.
Oh, come on, dude. I'm actually stressed with the timing here because there's an archer on the way. He does have Loom. Come on, villager.
Loom, yeah.
Chop the tree.
Yeah, don't repair the policy. Vamos, chopa chopa.
I think the choppa works. I don't think a villager dies here.
Yeah, 55.
That's actually crazy.
All according to Andy's plan, like last game with the sneak, right?
Yeah,
Man,
true.
This guy. He's planning his next level.
Imagine someone texted their friends. It's like, yo, there's this Age of Empires tournament happening. It's so sick. You got to see what the pros are doing in 2024. Yeah. And then, some guy named Lars just shows up to see this. And he sees this moment right here.
Yeah, it's a pretty epic one.
Wow.
On the right side, Sebastian actually missed the 2 vills that Andy had, but he will go back to check on that.
Oh, yeah. And those 2 vills are probably destined to die, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think there's anything you can really do to escape with these vills. You can delay, and honestly, if you keep one of the vills alive and build a building over there, like a barracks or something, you could maybe make things awkward.
Yeah. But you need to be able to finish the building, which isn't guaranteed, because there could come more archers, right? So you don't want to waste wood as well.
And
but I guess letting 2 vills die, it's not the biggest deal. Like, and it will be up to Castlage. Question is what he will do now. Like, do you think some kind of monk rush on the top? Like, Sebastian has absolutely 0 defense on the top.
Well, he has no gold.
And top is really... Yeah, but you don't need gold. Gold is overrated. The market is there.
I don't know if you can go monks without gold, though.
Yeah, okay. Mangonels and spears then. Or mangonels only.
Yeah. I think... So I've had a lot of conversations with people, right, about these maps. And it'd be unfair to me to reveal my sources, right?
All right.
But I really think that you can lose 2 vills, maybe even 4, and if you just get to that second TC off an FC time, you're so far ahead from the other guy that you could just catch up in the boom. Like, look at Sebastian. He's gone for the militia, which we've seen a lot of people do. He's going to go for the archers. He's going to kill the vills. He's got all this food. So many things to get excited about. He hasn't even clicked up yet.
But... Yeah, but where would you do the TC? You would do it like kind of next to your TC already, right? And then you have a village, but you still don't have gold, so...
Yeah.
At least versus feudal units, I think selling for mangonels is extremely strong.
Yeah.
But Sebastian, again, like that outpost on the top is brilliant, like... So freaking good. You see everything Andy will do.
Yeah, I think going straight 3 TCs with no map control against Sebastian is probably a mistake.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. Maybe 1 mangonel. And you could still justify the second TC, maybe even the third TC, and then you're just hoping that you can chop through into the into the outside, I guess.
How many trees are there? There's like 5 trees, and then you're out on the top.
Yeah, and maybe make a church there for a bit of extra efficiency, to chop faster. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's a reasonable idea for sure. The issue with the workshop at home, right, is that even if he does a Mangonel now, Sebastian just adds a stable on the top, and Andy will have to make barracks and stuff like that. Gonna take a while to get the Mangonel over to the TC.
Sebastian is about to be through into the gold area from his starting TC. So that's a pretty big deal. So he'll have more than 2 on golds. And he did also stonewall the southern section, so Andy can't push back there. At least not fast. And Andy is going to town center there? And he now has walled in the villager from Sebastian.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Andy's something else.
Will he get that one as well?
Yeah, I don't know if I want to come try and save this Vil if I'm Sebastian. I mean, that Vil should be fine for Andy because he's bringing a Scorpion. And now Sebastian's got to run. Look,
that was a straggler tree? What?
What?
That was a straggler tree? Can't believe it.
Wow, he chopped the tree and escaped there. That's a pretty big deal.
So I guess the other 5 are also straggler trees then, right? What the hell?
That's weird. I'd have to go back.
The trees have some weird names. 3G, 3H, 3G.
Yeah, true. They're not like regular trees. You used to be able to actually look at the tree HP to know if you could palisade hop it.
Oh, really?
So it used to be 30 HP trees. You could always palisade over for whatever reason. I don't know why. Or maybe it was 20 HP. No, I think it's 20 HP because if you look at the regular trees, they're 30.
Wait.
And the other ones are 20. So I think all 20
But look
HP...
at Sebastian's wood on the right. Those are all 30 HP trees.
Yes.
I'm confused.
Yes, okay. Yeah. So I think I had it wrong originally. I think, unless it's changed, 20 HP trees you can always palisade over, and 30 HP you cannot.
But surely you can't palisade the wood that Andy currently is chopping on the left, right? Like those are 20 HP.
Oh, okay. Forget what I said.
I don't know.
Never mind.
I'm probably slightly more confused than you are. So at least
no, I thought it was so smart, but. Oh god. Well, what a game here.
If she was streaming, his chat would call you out anyway, so we need to figure it out.
Yeah, we could look that up later. Look at the amount of churches here. We've both got double churches. I guess, remember, you get enhanced work rate for areas around the church. So for Sebastian, that makes sense. And he's being siege pushed. Andy has gold, so he can afford to get redemption and make a couple monks to try and defend from the siege.
Yeah. Monk rushing without gold versus monk rushing with gold, it's bit better for the gold player.
Yeah, just a little bit. And Andy's not through yet. Andy's a pretty long way from being through. He does have great food and wood eco so far. But his push may stall out here. Yeah. And if it stalls out, maybe Sebastian could start to get a snowball going, move forward here, and push Andy before Andy escapes.
And it feels like that church on the front for Andy is protecting something, but really it's quite useless. Like, you jump in with a villager, it barely does any damage.
Yeah. One arrow is not going to be enough.
No.
But it is... We could say that because we have the luxury of casting right now.
Yeah.
And so I think if you see that flag and you see an arrow, you're probably going to respect it a little bit. Like right there, he backs away, he's going to respect it.
It kind of doesn't make sense to respect it, but I also do it in game. Like, you don't... Yeah.
Andy dropping a barracks now. That monastery essentially gives him a little bit of time. But I think Sebastian is respecting that less and less. And I think Light Cav is going to be the play for Andy, but he doesn't have golds.
Yeah.
He doesn't have golds. He doesn't have a relic. Relics are all on the outside. And Sebastian, yet again, it's like he is able to take some more map control against Andy, who goes for this crazy boom. And problems for Andy incoming, potentially.
Yeah, like Light Cav is probably the right choice, but usually you want to have an eco lead and then stop build production to make Light Cav. Now, barely have an eco lead, and it's going to be hard to get Light Cav out.
Yeah, you can't lose those mangonels. Oh, man, Andy actually kills the monk. The monk does have sanctity, so he needed 2 hits there. Well played, and now he backs away. Now he's waiting for scouts. I think if he had 4 Light Cav, this game completely swings, but he needs to get there first.
Yeah.
His own monk could be sniped by Sebastian. Sebastian's aggression is insane.
Yeah.
Just has so much confidence in his ability to run in with 3 archers there when there's siege out.
Yeah. Did confirm the stable now, so if he adds some barracks and some spears, he should be okay. He will drop a castle forward. Okay.
Oh.
Skip, make or break the game here. Let's see. But 4 monks should be enough to deter the mangonels.
The timing on this is nuts, right? Again, if Lycav was in right now, the monks go down. So Andy has the siege. Andy can deny the castle. There's only a scout, though. And the attack round from Sebastian misses. We have a church from Andy to try and deny the castle. There's the scouts. There's the scorpions. There's the mangonels. Oh, be careful here. Sebastian. Castle's at 80%. It's going to go up.
Okay, it's going to go up. Man, that got a bit more messy than maybe it should have. But now, what do Andy do? He still needs to cut out on the left and then expand that way.
Yeah, and I think Sebastian's learned NAC 5 qualifier. He had such a good position, and he didn't commit enough villagers to build the forward castle against ACCM. And ever since then, anytime he builds a forward castle, he overcommits just to make sure that goes up.
It's a proper PTSD moment, but kind of a good way. He learned the hard way.
In a good way. Oh my god.
But Andy might ACCM this one up and just cut out, expand for 40 minutes, and then something.
Yeah, I mean, if he escapes here, which he's not too far away from, he could do a lot. The concern for him is he needs to somehow defend from these mangonels. These mangonels are just going to batter down his base slowly.
Yeah.
But Sebastian...
Just like 4 Manaspa by the mangonels as well help a lot for slide kill.
Yeah, true.
Oh, Andy breaking the bottom. Will he expand that way?
Ooh. Maybe he will. I mean, let's not forget that Sebastian's eco isn't absolutely stellar behind this. It's not like he's got a lot of farmers. He's just not going up to 5. So, I've seen games turn around in these scenarios. Maybe not on this map, because we have seen this map banned more than picked in this tournament, but it makes sense that if Andy escapes here, he could be okay.
Yeah. Sebastian coming with 2 vills on the bottom to try to wall that up again. If Andy's not paying attention, he could do it, but it should go down eventually.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess, if there's any units that run through for Andy. Market's about to get converted. House is about to be converted. I was surprised that Sebastian didn't do this a bit earlier. He's had the monks here for a while. And Sebastian did get a wall piece down, but now here comes Andy, and Andy is escaping to find some stone and gold, and he rewalled it. So he will be able to get some stone and gold for now, and then he's got Lightcap to kill the vills. That's actually very nice for Andy.
Yeah, good foresight by Sebastian to send 2 Manaspa down there though.
Yeah, true.
Realizing that this could happen. Like Lightcap on that right side eco could actually be quite annoying, but he'll be fine.
And now Andy's out, and he will find a gold. But he is losing so much right now. He can't do anything against the Monk Siege push. Lightcav pretty much are the only answer. And then the Manaspa from Sebastian are just simply so much stronger. And he sent them everywhere. He sent them through the Overchop. He sent them down here to the escapees, I guess. And what a perfect series so far for Sebastian.
Yep, well done by Sebastian.
And GG. Wow, I mean... On paper, with how we know FreakinAndy can play and Sebastian can play, there's a lot of potential for FreakinAndy in the first 2 maps. The houseboat game, he had a nice boom. He was ready to go, and then he got surprised. And then here, maybe a little bit less potential, just based on how the games went. Sebastian killed the early vills. Sebastian took the map control with the monks, defended from the push very nicely. And if Sebastian had a weakness, it would have been on houseboat and piece of pizza against a player like FreakinAndy. So now Sebastian's looking like looking insane here.
Yeah, for sure. I really liked how Sebastian played this game. Like early initiative, like clean him out from the gold area, and then like adapt from that point. I really liked how he played that.
What could Andy have done differently, if anything, here?
Well, I don't know. I really like to rush on this map just to create some pressure early, but I didn't mind what Andy was doing with FC, but I think you need to either commit on the boom or commit on the push. Like, if you do something in between, you might not be able to do enough damage or get enough of a vill lead. So
okay,
maybe just a full no gold mangonel rush. It could have maybe worked.
And maybe that's why. Maybe that's also why he didn't do it, because it seems so weird to try and kill mangonel rush with no gold. But
yeah, I mean, maybe you have to just fast fuel on this map and maybe make a tower on the right, so the archer can't kill you, and then make a TC there and then play from that point.
Yeah. Great. It was sick from Sebastian. I loved how his Drush and his archers were able to get to both sides very quickly.
Yeah, that was really good.
And then also the Stonewall as well. I mean, I don't know about you, but it's very clear to me that Sebastian played practice sets. and watched
for sure.
games.
I mean, he's
and
thinking
was
about
prepped.
everything, which is great.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah, really well played. FreakinAndy down 2 games. Res collected was super close. There was only 8 resources difference there, but Sebastian had the gold and Sebastian had the stone.
Yeah, by quite a bit.
And now poor Andy, I think the last time and the big stage that these two faced each other, it was 3-0 for Sebastian. And hopefully Andy's not thinking, not again.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess.
Andy's going to have to play on Sebastian territory now. And this was actually his choice. He chose now to go for Sebastian's home map. So he's down 2 games. He didn't just go for his final remaining home map. Maybe he wants to save that. And he's going to try and go for, I guess, the hard work first. He's Lithuanians here. The map is Boundary Brawl. We'll see the TCs go up on the stragglers. And we have the dock opening here from Andy. I want to see, Ganji. I got to get out in front of this so I can look smart. I want to see the first fishing ship from FreakinAndy go get the water buffaloes. I think that's huge.
Yeah, you're all about those water buffaloes. I've heard Hans about picking them up. Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Even if you get like
I heard
6
Nico
of
was
them.
a doubter, but then he fell in love with the idea after you told him.
I don't know if Nikov's in love with the idea yet, but I remember
getting
Nikov
there.
said, "Why Hans lol" in my chat.
Yeah.
And then the other day I tried to say, we're not going to say who doesn't like it. And then everyone in my chat remembered it was Nikov. So I think people just know now.
Yeah.
So Berbers, Lithuanians. How do you like the matchup here for both civs?
Well, Sebastian played Berber versus Rakuma in the last game, right? Played quite well and then got a great timing to win. I like Berbers. Like, there's so much Vil movement on this map that the early eco is actually quite nice. Usually Berber eco bonus is not very impressive, but on this map it's quite nice to move a bit faster. And then the castle is obviously strong. I think the feudalish is the issue. They have
it's
faster
also
ships, but
yeah, you just said it. Also, I think the faster ships can really help out too. Like, if you choose to go fire galleys, which can have some downsides against galleys, you can chase down the galleys and get closer. And then obviously if you have the galleys, which are naturally already pretty fast, you can just hit and run. And with Sebastian's skill, I think Berbers are just perfect.
Yep.
But with the way Andy likes to play, Andy's more of the eco guy. And I also really like the Lithuanians. The extra food is super helpful. And he's got a nice build already because of that. It's crazy how 100 extra food can help you, but you just don't need to send the first couple of vills to food at all. And then you get the 2 fishing ships, which he has.
yeah. You will have to time it quite well though. Like, those 2 trees will run out, so he has to make a lumber camp up to 2, I suppose.
Yep.
And the fish was slightly further away from him than for Sebastian. But he didn't get the buffaloes. Well, maybe just a few.
Got a couple, yeah.
Yeah.
He did actually get housed here.
Actually, one of his fishing ships are idle. Is idle.
Oh, true. Yeah, he misclicked
Not sure
that.
when they will notice that.
That's a bit awkward.
That can be a bit hard to notice sometimes. If you don't click the will button all the time.
Yeah, but you should be able to check idles and it would show.
Yeah, but I think in this situation, you kind of feel like you shouldn't have any idles, so you don't check. I don't know.
That's funny. I
not very good at checking idols.
always spam check idles in Dark Age.
Okay, yeah.
Just like
that's a
nonstop.
good habit to have. I don't have that habit.
The problem, I'll tell you the problem for me, because of my rotation, I'm always spam checking idols, always. And another reason I can't stand a fish trap is because, let's say you had like 14 fishing ships, and you can only afford to fish trap every once in a while, like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I just keep finding fishing ships in my idols.
Oh, yeah. That's
and
annoying.
it just takes me away from the other things that I need to do. So I...
Yeah, and you feel pressured to make a fish traps with that fishing ship. You're like actually anxious about it.
Yes, thank you. You understand. Yes.
Yeah.
And so
I understand it, yeah.
So what I do is I just freaking delete them.
Oh god, okay, that's not good.
No, it's not. It's not. But I'm just saying it's happened. So that's I guess the positive of being able to
That's a
let things sit
nightmarish
idle.
fuel for me, man. That's a BF player that fish booms. Oh my goodness. Deleting fishing ships.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better. I got the rhythm down where you grab the fish, you click the spot, you hold shift, you press the the whole rhythm to get the fishing trap on top of the fishing ship on top of the fishing trap. I'm getting there. So
okay, yeah, that's good. I'm sure you're much better than Leary. Like, he just places them randomly across, like, around the dock, and it's horrendous.
maybe the only thing that I could be better than Leary at, except for
Yeah, same.
properly setting up a lobby, I guess.
Yeah, I think you beat him in that as well.
Yeah.
Maybe some AoE knowledge as well, to be honest. Or like everything.
Yeah.
Regarding the AoE knowledge.
I love it. Well,
The text and stuff.
Sebastian's going to go to gold. We've seen this a lot. So, again, he's got the faster ships. So, I'm thinking galleys. It worked before. Why change it at all? And then Andy, also wood on the outside. Also gold on the outside. But he's going to be slightly faster here. And so, slightly faster, also with a couple buffaloes. Could argue some slight advantages for Andy, but nothing major.
What's your thinking here? Like, if you go army, do you have to go forward with it, you think? Like archers or scouts, or would you do it from home?
The issue I have with forward army is you don't know where they are, right? Like, you could guess, the direction they're in.
You can kind of see where the vills are kind of going, right?
Yeah.
But they could also be fooling you. You never know. But
I think based on what I've seen,
distance.
the safe play is honestly 2 dock opening. And then once that's relatively even for a bit, you could start to build those buildings. But I think if you just go barracks and archery range right now, the Navy gains too much value.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't mind the Dockville for FreakinAndy, and maybe this is what he was thinking. Eventually, you just pull that Ville
the fire approach.
and you walk around. Yeah. Fires against Berbers feels like it's going to be even more difficult against the galleys.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Well, this has kind of been the meta. Now, there's been some ways to break the meta. We've seen Barrels and Dogao actually not even TC in the middle at all, which is just crazy to me. They've walked to the outside.
Yeah.
We've seen the sneak barracks and archery range super early to pressure, but look at Sebastian. Just in case that does happen, he's got outposts and town watch super early.
Such a good habit by Sebastian to do.
Yep.
Like getting that vision.
And I think, like, in my position, if I just made that fire and saw these 2 galleys and how fast they are, I'd immediately be like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
What have I done? Why did I open fires?
Yeah, I mean, he gets some early initiative, but it really, like, as soon as you have 4 or 6 galleys, you're kind of just gonna lose water straight up.
Yeah, I think, though, like, it also depends how you use the fires. I think if you pull back for a little bit, force him to invest into galleys, I actually think you want the galley player to have to go for, like, 12, you know?
Yeah.
You don't want the 6 to get value. So I think if you somehow outmaneuver them, give yourself some time, it gives you time for the other things, which we might see. The villager is walking to the south now.
The galleys still scale pretty well. Like, even if you have to do 12, which isn't ideal, they will scale pretty well into this map. So
yeah,
at least that way it's
also
really producing fires, like a lot of them.
It's also quite hard to avoid the galleys in this area. Now, on the other side, he's got the 2 fires, and so Sebastian has to respect that. So I like the fact that at least so far, Andy hasn't lost a ship. I know I'm going to say that, and he's going to lose 2.
Yeah, Caster's Curse.
But he also got tons of buffaloes. You know how I feel about the buffaloes.
Yeah.
And villagers there. Does the outpost with Town Watch see it? Of course it does. That's so sick.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, Sebastian has played near perfect games so far.
Yeah, for sure. But at least this game, Andy actually has some initiative, which is nice. He didn't get that in the previous 2 games.
Yeah.
But here he has some initiative with the fires, and then leading up to, I guess, an archery range and archers.
Agreed. And when you have the buffaloes, you can still take resources underneath your TC for a while, so it's not like your vills need to run into the galleys. And his wood line and his gold is far enough away from the shoreline where that's not an issue either, so this could be good.
Yep.
But I'd almost like to see Andy build his own outpost. I feel like if you know your opponent can see you, it changes everything here. Or a spearman's good. The spearman's good for scouting.
So Sebastian will wall like kind of towards his dock with a tower, so it will be secured on the left side. I wonder if Andy at any point will run past the dock to the right side.
You mean, like, just past the tower and the wall here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he will wall to the dock, and I guess Andy will have to go around the dock, which is very risky. Like, then most of the galleys are there and stuff like that.
There's 7 galleys for Sebastian.
I'm not sure why he's making skirms. Why is he making skirms?
I guess because he's Lithuanians, and he thinks they have good spears and skirms. But yeah, he knows he's been spotted now, because he sees the wall. Is there a hole there?
There's a hole! course. But imagine that was 2 archers instead, no?
Yeah,
Like, that
true.
would be so much better.
Yeah, true.
I guess he assumed that Sebastian would have a range or something.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I'm not. It didn't feel 100% natural for me. And oh, yeah, because it's not archers,
Yeah.
Sebastian can just run over there and wall it up now. Nice job from Sebastian.
Yeah, nice job from Sebastian for sure.
Yeah,
It's hard to wall those woodlines.
if these were 2 archers instead of 2 skirms, Sebastian's losing vills right now and has to panic.
Yeah, for sure.
But instead, he
like,
could just kind of chase.
Yeah, and Sebastian is also the guy with the... He has to micro his army on the water while Andy can just kind of patrol, so... Would be even harder to micro.
I still really like how Andy has played water. I know, like, considering the fire opening. He hasn't lost a ton out there. He still is his docks. But I think if Sebastian would have been surprised by the land, it would have changed everything. So far, he has not been at all.
The issue is in 2 minutes when all the food kind of is out and he has to put 15 vills on berries. Because Sebastian also walled his mill in on the left side, actually.
Okay.
On the middle.
I have a thought, and I want your input. So, what if Andy transfers, like, all of his lumberjacks to that stone right now, and he just drops a castle in the middle with his 15 vills when he makes it Castle Age? Is that too crazy? Because, like, dude, he could take out Sebastian's CC before Sebastian makes it to Castle Age.
Yeah, it's definitely an idea.
You remember,
Yeah, I like it, actually.
You remember Alpine, the map with the little elevated circle and the boars in the middle?
Alpine, yeah.
There's 8 boars. You start with the horse. The wood is in a circle and the little hills with the rock terrain. I don't know if that's ringing a bell, but there the meta...
Yeah, I think I do know it.
The meta kind of became drop a castle between the TCs to control the middle of the map. This is obviously very different, but dude, that would be sick. I'm getting so excited just thinking about that. Oh my god.
And it's not like Latest is a bad unit to make from that point either.
Yep. But the downside would be you can't do anything else if you do that. Because you won't have wood or... Yeah, you pretty much won't have wood. So it does really hamper any other play. And he's gonna be
I wouldn't
up.
mind that play though. I'm not sure. He will fight for water, I suppose. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got 2 docks. He's just building another one now. He'll have 6 ships. And an even crazier play would be a TC drop in the middle for Andy. I don't know why he's attacking the gate right now. But he is. With all of his vills. And he's going to lose a vill, but he's still attacking. And now the War Galley upgrade's coming in. Andy. Oh my god. Got a little sloppy there.
Almost got walled in as well.
Oh man, this dock.
Well, do you think he will kill the galleys with the fires? I mean...
He could.
The fires are quite a good buffer in front, which is nice, but... I think Andy needs to kind of go and kill those galleys before they get upgraded.
Well, yeah, but you know... Back to, even though the KTs looked bad, Sebastian's up 2-0. Think about how easy life is for Andy now. He could build the second TC. He could kind of chill. He's got the upgraded fires to make things messy. Sebastian also has to respect the potential that maybe that villain in the south is building a siege workshop to push.
Yeah, very true.
So I really like how Andy has played this, considering the opening.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree with you.
I think a lot of it comes down to not losing your initial fires and just running around in circles.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how far you commit here with Andy, though. Like, you will inevitably lose the water once he gets those upgrades.
Yeah.
But,
well, maybe you're fine.
Second TC, you're kind of okay.
Maybe as long as you don't get stuck with 15 vills in the middle, you're okay.
Yeah.
You don't want those vills to finish berries and not be able to go to the outside. So he may run now. And now Sebastian will get his upgrades. Res Collect is very even. Sebastian still heavy on stone, so I think we might see camel archers at some point.
Andy tried to kill the board that Sebastian was taking with the skirms. He almost got it.
That's so funny.
Really funny.
I thought he was attacking the villager. That's funny.
I thought so as well at first, but the javelin hit the board.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
War Galley will be in. That's a lot of fires for Sebastian. And just 2 TCs. for Andy. So he's not that much faster to the town centers because Sebastian will add that now.
Yep.
And Sebastian will probably get to Camel Archers too. So get another game. Another slight advantage for Sebastian here with the army control.
Yep.
If Andy can win this one, you just go onto your opponent's home map, a map that Sebastian's looked very good on. You've beaten him, and you have a home map remaining. You could easily swing the momentum back for that game 5.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a really nice draft, but can he fight back on water? That's seemingly his choice now with only fires. I think it's going to be tough.
I can't get my eyes on those vills in the middle taking the berries on that walled-in mill. They're like walking halfway across the world to deliver the food.
It's so tough. Like, typically when you're booming, your eco's in the same area of the screen.
Yeah.
But on this map, it's in 2 completely different spots. It's kind of the same with your army as well. If you're attacking with land army, you're one area. If you're attacking with water, you're elsewhere. It's really tough to play.
It's kind of similar to Frigid Lake in some ways, where the food kind of just instantly runs out. Like now, he's pretty much out of food entirely, almost.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have any farm set up and no fishing ships. Just has to rely on some zebra and some elephant here and there.
Yeah. Fire Galley's still alive for for Andy, but he can't save his docks. Interesting, he's queuing up War Galleys. I think it's a little too late for War Galleys.
Yeah.
Would prefer a couple fires, personally. And TC coming up for Andy. That's a very nice TC. Plus the fact he's Lithuanians means he gets the food. Love the fact he has Horse Collar for new farms, and the fact he has Bowsaw. So Andy's upgrade's really nice.
Sebastian will drop a castle somewhere.
Middle.
Is he gonna go a bit crazy when he wins water?
Ooh.
Do it in the middle or forward?
I mean, if he wins water right now, and those are some sick demos to help, you're right.
Yeah,
it might be worth going for the forward castle. But it takes a while.
On these types of maps are hard to judge. Like, there's so much water fighting that winning water doesn't necessarily mean you're ahead, right? So, even though the score is super far ahead, he doesn't actually know the vill counts on both players.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't know if Andy has anything else out there. What you do know if you're Sebastian is that you're winning. So I think the safe play, in my opinion, is drop the castle in the middle.
Yeah.
It can take out the TC, and then you can send Camel Archers any direction, which is kind of what you want here, right?
Yeah, I think so as well.
We'll see if he does it. He seems in no rush to drop that castle.
Yeah.
He's just adding things to his eco right now. Andy is still massing War Galleys in the south, which feels very out of place to me. But I guess he really feels like losing water is a bad thing on this map. And he's going to add another dock as well. So he does not want to lose water control. There's the castle.
Yeah. Making a university as well. Will he do ballistics? That's...
I think he's hoping for a big demo on these fires and then mass War Galleys to fight back. But there's so much for Sebastian on water already. So many. And he has the docks. Like, the second he sees a switchback from FreakinAndy, I think that he's just going to make more on water.
Yeah.
It's a good move.
Berber go fairly decently into Imp as well. Like, you don't have the halps, which could be an issue, where it's like latest halp combo or something.
Yeah.
But it takes quite a while to get there. So I wouldn't mind having Berbers at all.
It was a good move from Andy to at least use this middle TC to research Wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
Instead of using that for lots of vills, he did make one vill there, so rip that guy. But man, what a game. I mean, Sebastian has just completely been ever so slightly one step ahead with every aspect of the game, which, if you can do that, leads to just ahead every game. It's never like been one big decisive moment.
That adds up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
Exactly.
He's playing so good with Division as well. I'm impressed. Like, Sebastian always outposts everything and spreads his units, and it's like full info on everything, which is really nice.
Do you think that a player can benefit from being in a really competitive 3-2 relatively early and winning? Like, and what I mean by that is, like, you learn some hard lessons in the tournament, right? You get surprised by a couple things. You get to think, why did I lose this game? Instead of losing the whole series and then asking yourself the question, like, why did I do this? Why did I do that? You know?
Yeah. Well, I think 3-2 can definitely help. Yeah, you learn a lot of lessons from like close games or even the losses. But,
Yeah.
But if you lose 0-3, you might just think, okay, this was not my day, and I just played bad, and then it's kind of hard to learn super
Learn a lot. Yeah.
specific things. Yeah.
I don't think Sebastian was expecting these war galleys to hop out right now.
Yeah,
that is a lot of war galleys, dude. And
Yeah.
the demo hits. So maybe this is the way back for Andy to get some more control. He's got camel archers all over his base right now, which is not good. But yeah, the reason I asked that question as we watch Andy Micro here is Sorakuma played amazing this tournament. And Sorakuma almost beat him.
Yep.
And Sorakuma lost 3-2. So Sebastian is just... I feel like he's done all the things that he didn't do in that game. Like some of the outposting, his transitions have been much smoother. I mean, oh my goodness, he's everywhere. He's defending on water. 10 camel archers everywhere.
Kind of, like, you kind of have like a wake-up call here and there.
Yeah.
Like you kind of go into the match thinking, okay, Sebastian will obviously kill Sorakuma pretty easily, but that was not the case.
Yeah.
Like Sorakuma's a great player, but Sebastian is one tier above, right? Usually. But he really put a good performance up.
Sebastian is top 5 in the world right now, based on tournaments in 2024. And 4th seed in this.
Insane.
And I'm just looking at this, like, even though he was surprised on water, stabilized it immediately. His eco upgrades, his imp time, his camel archers, his outposts, like, what more could he do? Like, normally we can think, well, one more thing, you know, maybe get some relics. No, he's got 4 relics, too. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Nah, he's playing so good. Like, such good control, like, in every stage of the game.
I remember
impressive.
when I spoke to Andy after he lost 3-0 to Sebastian last time in Hidden Cup qualifiers. Andy was like, normally I would be really disappointed. But honestly, I played my best. And Sebastian is just playing so good that I don't even think I can be upset. Because there was no way that I could really compete on the day. It was something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing, of course. But fortunately...
I think he said something similar to me as well. Like, on that day, I just simply could not beat Sebastian. And
yeah,
that was probably true, yeah.
Well, I'm just kind of spinning the narratives here because it kind of feels like a similar thing here. Sebastian playing this good, and again, 1-3-2 versus Sorakuma. Sorakuma, I think, was one of the most prepared players in terms of strats. That'll kind of be forgotten at this stage because he's out. But he played really good, and Sebastian just... I mean, this is the FreakinAndy that 3-0'd Dogao.
Yeah.
It's not
and
like...
Dogao just qualified for Noble Cup as well, right? So he's in good shape.
Yep.
So very impressive for sure.
Yep.
But it's a lot about playstyles as well. Like some people match up like into other people really well, and some don't, and stuff like that. It's quite a complex thing in general.
Yeah, the Age of Empires food chain is something else.
Yeah.
This castle from Sebastian going up before Andy can even complete his own, and even before Imp, we have the GG and the good luck from FreakinAndy over to Sebastian, and a 3-0 for Sebastian. Man, did he look good. He'll move into the quarterfinals. We'll have to see the bracket. I don't know who he'll potentially face.
Even giving him that well played. Very nice.
Yeah, true. Because it was well played today. My goodness. And, you know, for Andy, I think game 1 is maybe the tiny straw that started to break the camel's back. He had a nice position there, got a little bit surprised, and then it felt like ever since those docks went up on his water and houseboat, Sebastian just had all the initiative.
Yeah, definitely. And it's a question whether Andy kind of let it happen by thinking, okay, I'm quite good in defense, which is true.
Yep.
Like, there's so many things to think about, right? Like, you don't really want to play Sebastian's game versus him. You kind of want to play a different approach, but that approach might not be ideal versus how good Sebastian is at like taking control of the map and like booming behind and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a really hard matchup.
So Sebastian will face Yo in the quarterfinals. And honestly, I think Sebastian could beat Yo. I think it's crazy to say he's the favorite because it's Yo, but it's 4th seed
He better
versus
ban
5th
Nomad,
seed.
and then he might be fine.
Ban Nomad, ban Growlpool if you can, and then against Yo, maybe he's got some chances. That'll be a fun series. Dude, Ganji, I forget what we covered last time we cast together. Was the last one a 3-0 as well?
Yo. Yeah.
So apparently, if you come into cast, it's always a 3-0. Crap.
That's not good.
Yeah, we'll make sure that the next time we cast together is a more competitive series. Sorry that we didn't have more games, but I still had a lot of fun, dude.